quick demo of just grab your API key, instructions, and read me how to do it. One of the reasons I can't, let's see, we already have chat. I think I may have missed that window though. One of the reasons we can't, you don't want to store this information. There's really not a great way to store secrets that have sensitivity. You obviously wouldn't want your API key to get out into the public because it means other people could use it and charge you for it. So the way I'm getting around it now is that I'm just making it so they have to enter in your credential every single session. And it does suck. I'll try to think of some solutions so that maybe it's just one time, maybe you have it's difficult for a client-only program. There's some decent-ish ways that I feel okay about, but not gold or platinum standard in terms of security that could be done. You can encrypt it and then have a password, but like if the user's putting in a password, it's not a heck of a lot of difference between the user just pasting in an API key. A little bit different because at least the user would remember their password and have it encrypted against the key and then decrypt it. That is the solution, but it's not very good. It depends on your password and the encryption algorithm. You have to imagine other sites can dip into your local store and your cookies and all that, pop out that key. So working on that, but hopefully we'll find a solution there to make it a little bit easier. It's been a lot of fun, and so some of the key features here that we have now, you can now translate to any language, meaning like your home language here. The drop down actually isn't showing in sauce, but let's do Thai. So we could do Thai, Swedish, Spanish. The drop down has the name of the language in English and then in its native spelling and native alphabet as well. So let's do Italian. What that will do is it'll translate everything into Italian, so that if you only speak Italian, you're tired of all these English things, you don't know what's going on, you can do that there. Obviously, the default for me personally would be English. I want to translate it. That was part of the fun. I ride a group ride with a group called Jet out of Japan. Most speak decent amount of English. Obviously fluency in some of the group to varying degrees, and then some are just Japanese only, and it's just fun to engage or understand the jokes and whatnot. So that was really the impetus for this. It's really not that sophisticated. I'm actually pretty impressed with how well it works for how unsophisticated it is. A literal worldwide global translator in a couple hundred lines of code is pretty insane, and for very low cost. In all of my testing, it's been a few days now, I've spent 2 cents. 2 cents. Tens and tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of tokens translated, and I've spent 2 cents. Just a wild age we're living in. The translations aren't perfect. I don't want to be held responsible for insulting anybody. It's as good as ChatGPT is, which is good enough for this application. Not sure that I would productionize this solution without some guardrails or whatever for money, but it is really cool. You're going to get the gist of all messages going on out there. I'm going to keep recording throughout the day to see if I can't find some good translations. And again, I should be in Italian now. Yeah, things should translate to Italian. Saving the message for 10 minutes. Message timeout seconds. 32 messages will show up in the window, and then the cost per token, that's 15 cents per 1 million tokens. You can exclude countries. I'm not gonna use this feature. I don't know why Bulgaria is first on the list, but the idea here is to save yourself on tokens. Like let's say United States. This has actually already bit me in some demos. I can add an exclusion to the United States. Let's say I can add an exclusion to Australia. Okay, and we'll add those. And what I'm excluding is when Zwift sends a message, it sends the ISO, I don't know what it is, 30661 or whatever country code of the sender. And if you look on the right, like see Right Better Cycling, you see the American flag, you see the Union Jack, you see the German flag. That's what they're using there too to determine the country. So the exclusions I'm putting on there saying don't translate any message from anybody from Australia to or United States, because I'm just assuming they all speak English and I don't want to translate it or waste that time. Funny story, I live streamed to demo this and I was dying to show a translation, and an hour and a half later, done with my workout, not a single translation on Tempest. And so I decided to stir the pot and just, try to get a response. So in Dutch, I go to Google Translate in Dutch. I said, hello, Dutch writers. Hope you're having a great day. And sure enough, I get a response from an Australian or a Dutch expat living in Australia. So it didn't translate. I didn't know the language enough to know that he was saying you too, which is like, I think it's JIJ and then OOK. I honestly thought like, oh, is my Dutch so bad? He's like, oh, okay. But no, it's literally how you say you too. It didn't translate. I had to Google translate it later. So I have removed, I would like to remove the pills and just translate everything while I'm testing. But if you want to save on cost, the cost is not high. The only kind of downside of this entire sauce mod has been that you have to go get an open API key. A little bit annoying. I get that. I think it's not that hard, and then you can put on budgets, and I think $5 would probably last you for years of having it on full time. Definitely, please use budgets. On the OpenAI website allows you to set a max that you're willing to be billed. Set it as low as you're or as high as you're comfortable. And in no way, shape, or form should you ever be spending like more than $10, probably lifetime, for this pretty cool feature. So I don't make any money off this, but I am using their API. Looking at some ways to do it locally. Language translation is hard. This is by far just kind of economies of scale, the cheapest way to do it. And I'll continue to work on the API key problem. There we go. Very cool. So we're translating to Italian, and in parentheses, it's going to give you the language that it detected in Italian, for example, or whatever language you selected. So you know what language it was coming from. So ciao, Tina. I think everybody knows ciao, but inglese is English in Italian. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, you can. I've done it with kanji, with Chinese, Japanese. Well, let's see. Actually, Bene, ciao Bill, e così bello vedere un volto. Yeah, I will spare you my horrendous Italian, but there you go. It is translating to Italian. Now, with just a click of a button, we can change the language. Let's see, because usually when there's a conversation, that looked like the end of the conversation, but usually conversation begets more conversation. But now it should translate to Spanish. Everything should come in Spanish. There we go. Inglés, ganando una insignia para traer triunfa. Well, yeah, I said it with a Spanish retired triunfa. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's correct as far as I know. And we can even change it again. Hola. Okay. Ciao. Italico. No, that's Italian and Spanish. Italico. Huh, Italico. Italico. I need to practice that, but that's cool. So ciao is now hola. Let's go check. I will be completely lost. Check. There we go. Anglicina, no idea. It looks check. But I have no idea if that's correct or not. Pretty fun. And let's do Hindi. Like I said, chat usually begets more chat. It's usually kind of putting it out there and getting an answer. Yeah, we've spent 1/10,000th of a penny thus far. Pretty good. And it's showing all the Unicode characters properly. Zwift, I don't understand the choices that Zwift makes sometimes. And there we go, the Hindi. I was wondering about that. I tried to ride with Maria. Let me see if. Ooh, interesting. So there's a bug that it's putting English in Hindi. Hindi to English translation. That's okay. It's not really, but I was thinking about it. I tried to ride with Maria. That's what. That is what Google Translate says. So interesting. That looks pretty darn good. Go to French. Ah, there it corrected itself. So I've seen this as a bug. That's one of the problems with working with LLMs is it's not deterministic in terms of like usually as programmers we're working with deterministic inputs and outputs. Okay, now we're in French. I will not try to pronounce that in French because I do not want to insult everybody. But yeah, that looks like anglais is. I know that's English. It's not deterministic, so these are results from an LLM. It's under instruction, but it's not deterministic in terms of we usually have rigid contracts when we build systems. Now that's a bummer. Maintenant, c'est vraiment décevant. I'm curious. I'm actually super curious about this one. Let's see. French to English. It's just so much fun. Now that's really disappointing. Okay, all right. I like it. Very cool. And I detected it. I'm gonna try big spin once more. Je vais essayer le rendu encore une fois. Ajouter. All right. French to English. So sorry about that. I'm going to try the Grand Tour again today. Okay, it's calling it the Grand Tour. It's good enough, right? Yeah, again with the determinism, you can see capitalized and lowercase. Kind of funny. But if you haven't received the BMX bike, you can. Si vous n'avez pas reçu le vélo BMX, vous pouvez revoir la mine. Yeah, very cool. So let's go with some Korean. I actually haven't done Korean. Like I said, chat tends to get more chat, especially in Tempest. People kind of respond because you'll go hours sometimes with nothing. But pretty happy with the progress. I've had so much fun with this. I now can decode everything. Comforting the AI. Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. And let's see what this says. Paul Wren, I didn't really catch his. Korean to English. I'm using Google Translate, so it's not the best. It's comforting that AI has been this dumb so far. Oh, the irony, Paul! Oh, the irony! Oh, the irony! That is funny, funny, funny. Let's set it back to English. Oh my gosh, that is funny. As AI is doing something very, very cool. I'm gonna try and see if this character means English. Yeah, English. Great. That's a character in English. Sorry, but that is too funny. Yeah, that's what Paul said. It is being translated Korean. So my hope is this brings riders together. I know chat isn't like the primary way that people converse with one another. But yeah, lots of fun. So now we're back in English. Tells you it's English. It is translating everything. Again, if I wanted to exclude, let's exclude the United States. United States. I need to organize this better. So we're going to exclude that and show you what it looks like. You won't see the English anymore. It will just give you the message, right? Push Watson fights fascism. Awesome. I agree. So, hey, Tina, there you go. So it's not even translate. We've excluded it from the translation that an American speaker. Now, keep in mind the problem I have. I can't detect the language until I've talked to the API and charged you money for it. Now, I know because Paul is from the UK, it does translate. So if we wanted to put that, and then again that coming back. So let's do some Arabic. This is like the most action that I've seen since I've set up the multi-language support where you can kind of put it in whatever You want names will be difficult. I don't know if I can solve that problem. Putting names and of course config and the button itself. I wish I could translate it. I'm doing a very half-ass translation attempt, but I'm not going to wait too long. But you've seen the switch between languages. You've seen the filters. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that until everything translates. But you can select exclude the country, save yourself some tokens. I don't know what that list looks like in the config once it gets huge, but we'll see. So hopefully you guys enjoy. This demo actually went way better than I thought in terms of just the volume of chats, and it worked really, really nicely. Oh, there we go. We got Arabic. Thanks. Wonderful ride with you all day. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the ride. Take care. So let me translate this whole thing. Of course, Arabic is it is right to left, so perhaps I need to think about that in the language tag. It's going to be at the end of the sentence for an Arab speaker. English, thanks to, yeah, so got English. Thanks to the Meg team. It was great riding with all of you today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your trip. Take care, everyone. That was from Go Translate. Very cool. A few more came in, and let's go back to English so you can kind of see. Very cool. Hope you all enjoyed this demo, and I hope to get it out there soon. I might think for a little bit longer on what I can do about the API key. Definitely the weak point of the sauce mod, but a lot of fun. Really happy to introduce this and sort of bring people together. So hopefully you all enjoy.